What's up, everybody? Once again, welcome back. You're listening to the Entrepreneurial Web. I'm your host, Jeremiah Fox, here with my guest, Liz Novello, zooming in live from Baskin Ridge, New Jersey. So, Liz, you said something really, I think, important. You said a lot of important things, but something that stood out to me in that last segment was about being the digital mayor of your community. And I've been called like one of the mayors because it's Brooklyn. There's so many of us here. I'm like one of the mayors. We have a lot of them in our little community, and our community is pretty small. It's like small town ish within Brooklyn, which is creates an interesting dynamic. We're landlocked by Greenwood Cemetery and Prospect Park, which are both huge 500-acre green spaces. The Prospect Expressway dissects the neighborhood, so it's just like this little hodgepodge of little streets that go one way and this and that, and we don't get infiltrated much by outsiders. And there's essentially one little main artery that has 25, maybe 30 businesses on it, and I've lived right in the heart of that for 15 years, and we've opened over a half dozen businesses in the neighborhood in that time, and participated in others. And so I kind of got that title along the way. And I was completely inactive, zero on anything digital or social media. I mean, completely, like, I didn't grow up with it, just not part of my game at all. So I was like I was a guy in the street every day, opening doors, going out, talking to people, shaking hands as I dropped my kids off to school and everything. And now we're being forced into it, but so now there's no choice. And I said to you yesterday, luckily I got kind of catapulted into doing this show, which catapulted me into like, well, you got to do social media if you do it. So I got my feet wet, and now I'm finding it so necessary. You have mainly chosen like I'm posting everywhere every day, like 15 freaking platforms. It's crazy.
Awesome.
You largely run with Instagram, correct?
Yes,
that's where you're doing most of your work from?
I do. And I should be doing everywhere like you. But social media is like another job for me. So full-time mom,
Absolutely.
full-time agent, running your household, running your clients, the deals. And I love Instagram. I built a really awesome community, and really propelled from the time my brother gave me a shout out. He has over 7 million followers. And so he said, go follow my sister. And within 2 hours, I went from 500 probably followers to 15,000. But for the last, over 2 years, I guess, I've been posting every single day, rain or shine, happy or sad.
That's
like
great.
Every day.
Yeah, no, I know. I've only been doing it for not even 9 months, I would say. But I don't know. I think you're onto something, because I spread it out, and it's like I get a little bump here, and like, oh, this was a good week for LinkedIn, and then for like 3 weeks, it's like nothing. It's like, oh, that was a good week for Twitter, or this. I kind of like the idea that you focused on this one thing, and you're just like driving the truck straight through it. One of my mentors, he's a Jersey boy as well. He's going to be on the show next week. His name's Anthony DiSilvestro. He's from the southern part of Jersey. But I worked for him from like 93 to 2000 or something like that. We were both children. He opened his first restaurant. He was like 22 or 23. And he's probably opened like 20. He's been in real estate. Now he's in development and contracting, but he's franchised his restaurants. And he's headquartered in Virginia now, and he's a really charismatic fellow, and he's going to be on next week. But he just started his own show, and he's like, "What do I do?" He's like asking me all these questions, and I'm like, "I don't know. I just started too." He's like, "None of us know." But he started with Instagram Live too, and I'm like, I turned him on to you. I was like, you should check out Liz and see what she's doing. Like, instead of it, we know from opening businesses, like sometimes if you like open too many at once, you're like, it's hard to focus on one thing.
I actually think I'm not doing the right thing. I should be diversifying. We know this. I just made this comment the other day. You need to, have a lot of eggs in different baskets, because if you're coveting one and one breaks, it's like devastated. So I am going to be expanding. I just love the community, because it's really, they are my friends and family now.
Right.
You have the same followers. You kind of know their stories. When you had said that you didn't grow up with the internet, I didn't either, actually, and so I think this is the only way to become the mayor. It's like somebody had said yesterday when I did a live with them, that they always work their business by feet on the ground. But we are in a different world.
Yeah.
And this more than ever needs to be pushed out, because this is how we're connecting and how we're communicating right now. So I think boots on the ground and doing all live streams to hit many other people. So for example, if you're from New York City, you don't know a lot about New Jersey, maybe, unless you grew up here. And so just seeing the shops, seeing, what the streets look like, that's what a lot of people are curious about. I actually didn't know a whole lot about Basking Ridge, but my mom said you should move to Basking Ridge because it was between their house, my dad's store, the wine library, and close to the city. And so I explored Basking Ridge and I loved it because it felt country-esque. I grew up on 28 acres in New Jersey. A lot of people don't think Jersey is green. 28 acres, people.
Yeah.
And you'll have to ask your mentor. I wonder if he feels the same, but South Jersey and Central, or I guess other parts of New Jersey, North Jersey, they all think like South Jersey's a different part of the world. So I'm sure just like Brooklyn feels about other parts of the city.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
No, they got lots of pride, that's for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree that the digital presence has to really come up. That's been the theme of the last couple shows previously. Last week especially, it was two B2B companies here in New York City. And kind of I wanted to highlight that too, because everybody knows, like, I'm assuming in your town, the retail stores and the restaurants and everything is like complete shutdown, takeout only, and curbside pickup.
And not even all of them, which is so devastating.
Sure. Yeah. No, same here. Like I was saying, there's probably 25 to 30 businesses in our little strip right here.
Sure.
We're operating at like 25% right now.
And Jeremiah, in the beginning, when I was thinking about this, it's like everybody's like, buy gift cards, buy food from these restaurants. But I wasn't comfortable at the time to do that. I was like, wait, is the virus, like, am I going to get the virus from eating and consuming? So I was like, I need to come up with something else. And by helping community members, I'm plugging these out. They're a lot more work than I had anticipated, because a lot of these businesses have never gone live. They're going live with me for the first time. Yep. So they're asking 900 questions. Like, first of all, some of them are declining because they're afraid to go online, to be based on camera. And so I feel really bad, because I think that there's no choice right now. And so if you don't push yourself or say yes, you're going to be lagging. And so honestly, the ones that say yes, I'm helping them, because I know that the scary part of yes, but it's a lot of questions, and something that I have to refer to sometimes is like, Google it, YouTube. Like, we have all the resources. I'm giving you a couple minutes, but coming from my heart. And I'm also trying to run a business and my family and homeschool. So people need to be more proactive, but I'm happy to help every single community member of mine.
Yeah, and I mentioned that I can't remember what platform, but when I was just doing promo for the show, I was saying that that what you're doing is like, there are people without the means right now. There are people who just both wage earners in the family have lost their jobs, and it's a fight for survival. So maybe you can't spend money there, but there's the attention currency, which is gigantic and will be huge going forward. Back to what you were saying about you have to be that digital presence. You may still be boots on the street, but like that's only going to be a component now. Maybe it's 50-50, maybe it's 70-30, maybe it's 30-70. Nobody really knows the way the cards are gonna fall. But like the digital presence and being able to talk. I mean, everybody's been saying for a long time, video is where it's at. And you got to get over that fear. I've talked to a few people. I had a couple guys that were going to come on, and when they realized that we had to do video, they were like, no, I can't do that. And I'm like, this is it, man. This is it. We got to jump in the waters. We got to jump in the waters. There's no, but that, I've heard this.
Survival mode, survival mode. And you're going to listen, they might say no right now, but in 2 weeks, maybe they'll be like, hey, Liz,
it might change their mind. I find it fascinating, and I've learned this the hard way through running businesses and losing businesses, that you often innovate when your back is against the wall. That's when you're like, oh, okay, now I'll do it. Where before, like, we had a really good run. It's been 12 years since the last real shakeup, and a lot of businesses, I feel like, were propped up. I don't want to say on a falsehood or a lie, but there was a lot of pillow tops, on the mattress, and now it's kind of all been yanked. And if you haven't felt that hard box spring on your back before, it could be a little jarring. And the people that really have thick skin and that are resilient will be the ones that.
By the way, I don't have thick skin. I'm learning to have thick skin.
Well, we all
That's
are.
what it is. It's little by little. And I tell this to everybody, start now. Start now. Who cares? You don't have a choice. You want to survive? You got to do it.
Very true. Very true. I think it's your positive energy that survives you. You're just, every time I've seen you talk, you're just like unrelenting, just that smile. Like, this is it, people. Like, it sucks, but guess what?
By the way, I have bad days. I have, I'm super close with my family. I'm missing my family. But something that I learned from my Russian immigrant parents is, like, you pick up your big girl pants on and you get to work. That's it.
Yeah.
This is what you're faced with.
Absolutely. 100%. We're going to take another short break. Okay.
Great.
Have a drink, kick back. We'll be back in a few, everybody. You're listening to the Entrepreneurial Web.